I thank the member. The question is that the motion be agreed to, and I call the member for Dunkley.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. Charities and not-for-profit organisations are made up of people who want to give something back to their community, often people who have experienced a difficulty in their life or a trauma, and they know how that affects other people, and they want to do all they can to reduce the same experiences for others or to mitigate the impacts. Often made up of people who are really conscious that they've had a terrific life or perhaps a privileged life, and they know that not everyone else has that same life, and they want to do what they can to give back to their community to try to help others have a terrific life. By definition, almost everyone who sets up a charity or a not-for-profit organisation at the start is a volunteer. And it must be the case that every member of this chamber has the same experience that I've had, even in the short 18 months of being the member for Dunkley, is that people who are setting up charities and not-for-profit organisations struggle with the paperwork and the requirements to reach charitable status, to get tax deductibility so that wealthy people can donate and get their tax deduction, to follow all of the rules and regulations that are properly in place to make sure that charities and not-for-profits have good standards of governance and use donated money well. But often they're people who just don't know how to even understand what the rules are, let alone how to apply them. And in this year, in 2020, more than any other year, we have relied on those people in charities and not-for-profits to pick up the pieces in broken communities and broken families and to plug the holes that exist in government provision of services. And we always do that, but we've seen more than ever in this year, in my state of Victoria, where physical connection and communication hasn't been something that we've been able to do for months on end, the importance of local community groups to check in, just to make sure people are okay, to facilitate connection when there isn't any, and to try to keep going, to try to keep looking after the people that they care for when they're also trying to look after themselves. What we've tried to do in Dunkley is to bring those sorts of groups, charities and not-for-profits, together online in what we've called, imaginatively, the Dunkley Charity and Not-for-Profit Zoom forums, to have connection between the people who are in those groups, most of whom are volunteers. Some are in organisations lucky enough to have some funding, which means they can have some paid workers, but most who are volunteers. And I can't name all of the groups that have been part of the 3 forums that we've had, but they range, for example, from Quill Moves, which is literally 2 amazing women who donate their time to help disabled children and sometimes their parents to express themselves through writing and to record their experiences, to the Bendigo Bank, which is well known for handing out grants to charitable organisations, the Belvedere Community Centre, which hasn't been able to be open all year, but nonetheless has made and handed out 250 face masks and is looking for more people to take more face masks for what they've done. The Fit to Drive Foundation, teaching young people to drive safely. The Frankston Peninsula Multiple Births Association, which is an amazing group of men and women who help families with twins and triplets to get together. HALT, which is all about men's health. So many more organisations. And what has been inspiring about these forums is that, yes, all of these organisations have said we need more help. There's not enough funding from the federal government. We need ongoing funding to help us with our administration costs and to be able to pay people to do work. But they've moved beyond that and said, how can we help each other? HALT has worked with the Frankston Mornington Peninsula Multiple Births Association, Mums Supporting Families in Needs, for mental health for men. Frankston Basketball has reached out and held forums for mental health for young players. The Project C and Project O have worked together for artistic projects to help young people in need. We need a federal government that will do more to help these organisations get rid of the red tape.
The question is that the motion be agreed to, and I